I've been getting pretty nostalgic in these Flashback Friday style videos. Reminds me of the 2011-2012 YouTube era when I started. I couldn't wait to get home in those days. I was at college and literally I would run to the computer after class, watch the latest Respawn, check out Hutch and Nanners, Beiruti, like all these old school creators. So fun. YouTube was pretty different back then, at least on the gaming side. People weren't really making careers out of it to the same degree they are now. And so a lot of the uploading from that 2007 to 2012 period is pretty special. Yeah, there were people making good money, but a lot of the uploads were done for the passion, to make something cool, to just share it. Old internet is so kind of special to me. And we're in this newfangled era of the algorithm, of streaming, of nobody owns anything. And it reminds me of a story that I want to share today. Halo 2 and Halo 3 are core gaming memories to me. I had grown up playing games, and my first real experience with online games was Unreal Tournament and I think a little bit of Counter-Strike 1.6. Now, we had terrible internet. I grew up out in the boonies, so it was dial-up for a very long time, and then horrible satellite internet, and then even worse, than satellite, the radio stuff. Like, if there was any clouds, you couldn't connect, and even then the speeds were atrocious. And so I could only experience things like Unreal Tournament or Counter-Strike if I went to my dad's office after hours and played on his work PC, which every once in a while I could do. But then I remember when the PlayStation 2 got the network adapter. They did so much marketing, and back then, you would get demo discs. I subscribed to the official PlayStation magazine for like 7-8 years. I have so many demo discs laying around somewhere. I want to catalog them someday, but it was really cool. You'd get your magazine, and then you get a demo disc with that magazine, and literally you'd have 10 to 11 or 12 demos on the disc that let you try all of the new games that were coming out. It was a pretty phenomenal way to see if you enjoyed something. It sucks that only a few platforms, like Nintendo is the only one I really can think of that does demos anymore. Maybe PlayStation does. You can yell at me in the comments if I'm wrong. But demos have disappeared, mainly because we've got streaming and YouTube now, and I just don't think they're going to put that kind of effort in. But on those demo discs, they hyped up the network adapter, this massive new era of online gaming. And I remember getting the network adapter, and if I remember correct, it came with a little communicator headset. I feel like that was the standard. And also with Xbox Live in the day, wasn't that as well, right? You could get the headset. It was bundled in with so many things because the developers knew the social side was so important for multiplayer. Communicating, being a part of something bigger, that was the Wild West, fresh ground, okay? And I never really got to play all that much on the network adapter. I think Tony Hawk Underground, I played quite a bit of that. One time I ended up not setting up the modem right, and I think I incurred a pretty big long-distance charge because it dialed up to somewhere far away. And I still feel guilty about that to this day. Anyway, when we get to Halo 2, I had played Halo 1, loved it. But when we get to Halo 2 and the dawning of multiplayer, I didn't get to play it hardly ever at home because of how bad the internet was. So all of my time spent on Halo 2 and then eventually Halo 2 or Halo 3 online was at a friend's house. I had a good friend, went to school with him, and he would invite me over after class, and we would literally play Halo 2 split screen multiplayer online for hours. And I was at that age group, couldn't drive yet. And so 2, 3, 4 hours would disappear in a blink. It was unbelievable how much fun it was. And yeah, it was cool to play Halo 2 online. Don't get me wrong, but I think one of the biggest reasons why that is the core memory that I love so much is because I was playing it with a friend. I was playing it with somebody else. We were going through this shared experience together. And we did that with Halo 3. But a certain way through Halo 3, I went to college. And during the years right around there, I was racing mountain bikes a ton. So I wasn't playing a lot of games. My whole focus was, back then, I don't know if it's the same, but in order to get your pro license, you had to achieve X results at X races. And I was working really hard because I wanted to do that at the time. College degree didn't sound very fun. I was I want to race bikes. And eventually I did get the pro upgrade. But it was also right around the time that Halo Reach was coming out. So I hadn't played a ton of Halo 3 online. I do remember in my dorm room with my roommate, we played through Halo 3 Legendary and ODST Legendary. Beat it. And no joke, it was on like a 17-inch or a 19-inch little TV. It tiny, comically tiny to play split screen. And he wasn't even that big of an FPS gamer, but he loved playing Halo co-op because I think he had played it with his brother. It's incredible, super fun. Halo Reach comes out, and there's another buddy that, I don't know, I barely knew like the previous few years, but I knew he liked Halo. He knew I liked Halo. And we started playing Halo Reach split screen online every afternoon. I remember going to the release, we both picked up a copy. It was so hype. And that was like the first 6 months of Reach for us. And that really is the last time I've had couch co-op multiplayer experiences like that. I've done Mario Kart and things like that, but for Halo's sake, that is the last memories I have of playing split screen multiplayer with a friend. And honestly, those are the reasons I still play. I think about it, like those are the reasons I still play Halo. Yeah, you can play the game by yourself, the online, the campaign. But I feel like Bungie designed everything to be experienced also with others, online, locally, eventually firefight. They built a game and gave it the tools to really foster a super strong community. It really was something that was amazing to be a part of. And I do believe Bungie felt like it was meant to be shared. And in my mind, that is such a core defining identity of Halo. And since then, I've never experienced strong memories like that towards Halo. You know, Halo 4, I'm not trying to take it too negative, but Halo 4 drove most of my friends off of the series. If any of you, went through the same arc, let me know. But that was the time when most of my casual buddies were like, nah. They brought COD elements in. Don't like it. It's not for me. And then MCC broke literally everything. MCC was so disappointing that you really couldn't play. If you go back to the channel in 2014, you can see I probably have 14 videos that cover every update when they would try and fix it. And I know people like to think, well, it wasn't that bad in 2015, 2016. It pretty much was. Honestly, until the Halo Insider program, MCC was very, very rough. 3v4 matches, tough to matchmake. It was devastating. And Halo 5, one of my best buddies online, his name is Sassy, an Australian player, super strong at every game he touches. And we used to play tons of Halo together. But I remember when Halo 5, we started playing, there was the ping limit set in place, and we literally couldn't matchmake together because of that ping limit. And all of a sudden, overnight, I no longer could play, even in a super casual playlist, with one of my best buddies that I played Halo with for years. And I'm not saying all of this to dunk on the direction of Halo. Let's be honest. All of these big corporate games, they're maxing out the SBMM. They're ripping the social features out. My buddy Kevin Coolx put it this way. You're basically playing multiplayer with intelligent bots, right? The only reason you think they're a player is because the gamer tag. For all you know, it could be a bot. You're not going to hear them in game chat. You're not going to see them in text chat. You'll never see them again. You can't X to party up. You only meet people who play specifically like you. And that's just, I think that is such a core reason why people are checking out and not building the same kind of memories that they used to. So again, I'm sharing all of this in this flashback, not to be Captain Negative. Everything is just awful now, and it was so much better back then. But to encourage you to look and analyze and think deeply, where you spend your time. Are you having fun? Are you making memories? Are you connecting with others? And if I look at myself, I do love Halo Infinite Ranked. I've talked about that in a ton of videos. There's fun stuff to have there. I still love playing Halo MCC. But there is more I could do to try and play the game with friends, to make friends online and play with groups, set up community nights, all those things. But life's busy. It gets harder as you get older, right? I do look and see encouragement at games like Helldivers 2 and BattleBit, and a lot of these not gigantic games, not the mega publishers, who seem to be sort of getting it, who seem to be picking up the mantle where the AAAs are letting off. I do truly miss that community focus. I do miss the ability to go and play these games with friends. And I know the stats are showing like, well, people do this less and less, so it's why we support couch co-op less and less. And I'm not saying, hey, the fix to live service is more couch co-op. It's not. But there's an attitude shift. It's gone from being about creating a really cool game, a cool experience that also makes a ton of money, to really just being about making a ton of money. I don't ever want a free-to-play Halo again. Not if it's done the way Infinite was. Seriously, like, I miss what we were getting, those packages, where in 3 years they had to put together a campaign, a multiplayer, some firefight. Obviously, things have changed, but I don't... If it's free, we're the product. Period. And I just am not into this modern, isolated experience. It's really crazy to me. So again, I want to wrap it with a positive bow. I don't want to leave the weekend on a negative note here, okay? Life is hard enough. And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to get out here is find the things that bring you joy. Find them. Pursue them, like, if it's healthy, obviously. And just really look for those opportunities or find something new. I guess this resonates kind of with last week's video. And I'm doing the same. I'm trying to audit my time. We have a very limited stint of free time. And I don't want to look back after playing like 3 or 4 years of a live service and go, why did I pour that much time in? Do I have any great memories from it? Is there something beyond just like the basic, fun of winning that I had? I don't want to regret that time. I typically don't like go through life and be like, man, what a waste of time, right? Because you can get to a bigger conversation about games or entertainment on the whole. But I do want to look for those ways to build core memories. Those things, stories like this. I'm going to do something that if you look in the comment section, right, I'm going to ask you, tell your Halo story, if you're a Halo player, or whatever game that is similar that matters to you. Tell that in the comments down below. And I guarantee you, the arbiters who made it this far in the video, I've done this over the years on the channel, the Halo origin stories are some of the coolest things ever. And people can relate to that on a serious level. It doesn't matter when you hopped in. So if you enjoy the video, thanks. I really, really appreciate you all and the support, giving the opportunity to be a part of this cool community. And I hope you're having fun and making core memories. Have a good day. I'll see you again very soon.